Oh, the Rittenhouse verdict. That's what I want to talk about.
That's
I don't really care about the bet as much as just I knew it was about something I wanted to talk about. So yeah, Kyle Rittenhouse, innocent of all charges. I watched a small amount of the coverage, like maybe like 10 minutes, but I think the 10 minutes I watched were like pertinent 10 minutes. Like I saw when the jury had to be removed, and I saw the prosecutor being scolded by the judge and all that stuff, and they broke all that down. Seems like he was innocent of the charges that they charged him with. And it was pretty interesting. It always is, I think, to see like someone's reaction when they get that not guilty verdict. Like he collapsed. He was having a meltdown, and then I saw him smiling in the car leaving. That was great. I love seeing that. That was pretty funny.
That's going to be memeable for a while.
I tend to line up with like the official answer sometimes. Like I don't know, I guess I'm wired like that. And the way I see it, he engaged this guy. He ran from the guy. And because of that, it was self-defense. The guy was chasing him. Who knows what happens if the guy catches him? Takes his gun and does something terrible. It's not going to go well for him. Maybe he catches a beating. But so because he ran away, I felt like he had a pretty valid self-defense claim. And then the next two were almost super valid. Like they were all attacking him. And once the first one's valid, the next two are. I
saw where they got that one guy to admit, the one who had the pistol.
Yeah.
Like they're like, so when he shot you, you had your handgun pointed at his head. Is that like something like that? And he's like, well, yeah.
Yeah. I always thought the next two were just a downstream effect of the first one.
I can't believe that the prosecution would even want. I guess they can't stop him. I mean, no, he had to be a witness for the prosecution. This guy who had a gun, like wasn't he also the child molester?
No, I don't think the first one was the child molester.
The dead guy.
Yeah, the first one of the
first
dead
one's
guys.
Dead.
The other dead one was a
child
wife
molester.
beater or something.
One was and I think the one that got shot in the arm maybe wasn't a bad guy. He was a felon who had a weapon. Yeah.
I remember at one point them say, because I remember at some point they were like, and then there's that they had put the jury out of the room, and they were like, and then there's the other issue that we obviously cannot discuss with the prior record, and it's just like, and it's like, oh my god, they got so much shit going on here. Like if the jury was allowed to know any of this stuff, they'd be like, wait a minute, y'all got a child molester and a felon chasing that little boy?
The news said he was a white supremacist.
In terms of
God damn, are we going for metal
stuff, that's relevant. When Kyle was making his decisions on shoot or no shoot, is it self-defense? Like whether or not that guy, the first one, spent most of his adult life in jail because of I'm saying pedo stuff. I don't know how young they were, but I think they were pretty young. I think pedo might be an actual
They were like children, yeah. Like under 11. Between the ages of 9 and 11, there were 5 different instances, I believe.
That lines up with my memory, yeah. So, like, and that guy spent most of his adult life in jail because of that stuff. And then he comes out, and now he's attacking Rittenhouse.
Yeah.
So, he was awful.
You just wish that I feel like I'm gonna get if I'm Kyle Rittenhouse, I'm making like little paper planes, like throwing them at the jury. like felon.
He molested children.
Yeah. So he got off on everything. It does feel kind of yucky. Like a couple weeks beforehand, he's on video saying he wanted to shoot shoplifters. All right, we don't love shoplifters, but also it's not an appropriate punishment for stealing condoms and lipstick, right?
In what he said, like I think, and he said this too. He said something like, I wish I had my rifle because they're stealing or something like that, right? I heard him say something like that. Yeah.
But he didn't go and shoot shoplifters and thieves.
But it goes to
self-defense.
We're talking about his mindset. And then he goes to this protest with the gun. I feel like he went there with you know what? I wish a motherfucker would kind of attitude.
You could say that about Superman. He's always got those laser eyes. He shows up where he knows crimes might be committed. I mean, it's almost premeditated if you think about it, if he lasers somebody.
It's kind of a good counter argument. Like
Kyle Rittenhouse is a modern day Batman. He's not the hero we need. or the
Not
hero
even
we
a billionaire
deserve.
yet.
But he is a hero.
I mean,
Woody knows
it's funny.
Woody
I
knows.
do like where
Woody
you're
knows
coming
it.
from. Like, I'm
He's struggling
open-minded
with
to this idea.
It makes too much sense.
He went there looking for trouble, and he kind of started it.
No, he didn't.
and-
Batman's looking for
No,
trouble
he
every
did.
night.
He went
Every
to
night
the
Batman
guy to
hits Gotham,
prevent
he's
cars
looking
from
for
being
trouble.
damaged.
If you tell someone stop damaging that car and then they chase you and try and steal your firearm, did you start it?
Yeah, I mean, what?
think
It's not.
so? Because he didn't
it was
escalate
like
it to
his
violence, right?
job to protect cars. He went there thinking, if anyone does anything I think is out of line, I'm going to handle this problem.
But like
And
that's
that
not what
feels a
like
little young. That's what
Batman.
vigilanteism.
he didn't go
is.
around like shooting people who were lighting fires at the car lot. Someone chased him. There's like now the HD video of like that initial thing. He got chased. The guy was like trying to take his gun from him. He turned, shot him, and then now a mob is running
Well, the
after him
guy
trying to
wasn't-
kill him.
They suspected that if he caught him, he would try. He was still 6 feet away. It's to say that he was trying to take his gun from him is premature.
I mean, he was running at him.
Right, but that's just not the same thing as trying to take his gun from him, which is what you actually
I mean,
said.
come on.
He
now.
was
You're
chasing
going
down
to wait
the
there
alley.
until he has his hand on
Maybe
the barrel?
his intention was to beat him up. Like you don't know that
Come
his
on,
intention
that's-
was to take the gun from him and turn him on him, but it is a possibility. Kyle Rittenhouse went to this thing sort of thinking, if anyone gets out of line, I'm going to take care of it. And that does feel a little yucky because someone got out of line and he ended up killing 2 people and wounding another. And
In self-defense.
yeah, in self-defense, certainly when you look at like this specific way that it went down, I really like that Rittenhouse ran, because Rittenhouse ran from this guy. I'm lining up with the self-defense thing. I think the jury was right.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say he didn't run. Let's say that Rittenhouse stood his ground from the beginning. You know, you fucking scratch that car, I'm gonna end you. And the guy comes at Kyle and he shoots him. That would feel, that's not what happened, but that's bad.
Well, I mean, yeah, if something different happened, we'd respond to it differently. But I just think like a point that's getting mishmashed out there is like, oh, he went there and he was ready to murder anybody who touched a car. And it's like, okay, well, there were lots of cars being torched and he didn't murder any of those people. It wasn't until someone was trying to attack him that all this went down. And then 2 subsequent people tried to attack him.
Well, the guy tried to attack him because he told him not to touch a car.
And that's rational. Don't touch that car. It doesn't belong to you. And you go at someone with a gun. And if you're going at someone with a gun, what do you think? You're going to finesse them like Avatar out of it? Like, no, you're going to try and take the gun.
Well, there's some assumptions there, right? But I don't know. It does seem like it's like you don't want people to go into these riots looking to shoot anyone who gets out of line.
Isn't that what the police do?
Yeah, that is what the police are for, right? That's what the cops are for. They're supposed to go in there and clear the area and
I don't like it.
try non-lethal first, right? They tend to use pepper spray and tear gas and make people not be in the area.
I think it's easy to say we shouldn't lionize vigilantism while also being like, this is an instance where this person was 100% defending themselves.
That's what I'm saying all along. That's my point. This guy, look, he tried to disengage. He didn't want to kill him. He did want to stop him from scratching the car, but when he had an opportunity to not fight him, he took it or tried to take it, and then it wasn't available to him. So he's innocent. I get it. I'm on board with that. I still look at the very beginning of it as just a little yucky. You know, he went there with his gun looking to be an amateur cop.
I think he's going to make